Well, I am watching the stuff continue to unfold with the G4TV debacle and Froskurinn, and yeah, it's something that shouldn't be happening. I don't get it. I don't get why Frost, why you have so much hate in your soul, and why you want to take down everybody out there and telling people to go read feminist novels for some sort of viewpoint that makes what you're doing justifiable. I don't get it. I really don't get it, especially after what I'm seeing. Well, hello and welcome. I am Cindershadow, and we're going to dive into the story of Froskurinn and this G4 debacle that continues to revolve around the internet right now. Like the sun is going around, the Twitter spaces and Reddit, it's all revolving around this one situation when it comes to pop culture and the gaming news. Anyway, guys, do like and subscribe. Do hit up my links down below. Hey, if you want to support the channel, there's even Patreon and membership links down below. I am Cindershadow, and today I'm going to give you my honest opinion on what I am seeing and why things just don't seem to be right. Well, let's start off with this little post in 2X Chromosomes. This is by I Want Cool Crap Please. Nerd culture is toxic. I hate it when you have more nerdy interests like math, computers, chess, programming. You're being dismissed for being a woman. No, I do not want to hook up with you because I played a chess game with you. I am not an object for you to drool over because there's a picture of me on my chess.com profile page. And I also like to be taken seriously when I am the only girl in my programming class and not taken as a last resort. Well, you know, it sounds like you've had some instances with very not becoming people. It sounds, I'm guessing you're in school, high school maybe, so 18 maybe at most, and you have some people that are just being immature in the classroom. That to me is what I get out of there. But we have an actual response here from Indiana Black. You know, the Indiana Jones and Sirius Black came together to make Froskurinn Indiana Black. I work in gaming. I'm currently having multiple YouTubers send their followers after me on every platform. This one included because I did a 3-minute segment on sexism that asked the panel to rant about something that annoyed them in gaming within a 2-hour show. Well, that was going back to the G4TV debacle where you pretty much shit on every single one of your viewers in the show. You took this event and you made it about what's going on in your personal life instead of it being what was going on in Red Dead Redemption, which is where you started out. And I have to commend you because you were bringing up a valid problem that we are seeing in the gaming community, and that is Red Dead Redemption is not updating the game. They still have people paying $40 to $80 for the game and not getting anything that's perpetuating to them, keeping them there, unlike Grand Theft Auto 5, where Grand Theft Auto 5, I think, is like going on 10 years of updates and new content being released for that game, where Redemption continues to try and be lackluster, and they just keep trying to rake in money for a game at full cost. But no. We need to talk about sexism in gaming because that's the true problem that we're seeing in the world right now. Not these AAA titles that continue to crap on their fans and expect them to just shell out money time and time again for something that isn't even worthwhile. They believe I retaliated because I have been lying and spreading misinformation about exclusive releases since I mistakenly said Hogwarts Legacy was an exclusive release to whatever platform. I honestly don't care. With everything that's gone down with Hogwarts and people getting very toxic and upset about J.K. Rowling's personal views on the world, trying to remove her from her own storytelling, our own writing, and making it their own, why am I going to care about a game that doesn't even have J.K. Rowling involved in it in the first place? Her Harry Potter movies, her books, all the movies, all the concept was amazing, and I think that needs to be praised. I think that was a show that was well worthwhile. We've seen this with FNAF and Scott Cawthon as well, where people are completely crapping on these creators because they don't share the same viewpoints as you yourself once maybe did. It's been an absolute crap show, in my DMs and emails look like Xbox Live lobby, but the absolute disconnect for me is calling out sexism, and them being incredibly sexist is, to me, pretty funny. And you also rant and rave out on Twitter saying, you know what, keep clicking, keep sending all your vitriol at me, keep sending all the hate. I can take it. Every time a new email shows up, I get a new click and I get a new shiny dollar bill. Like, come on. Really, you sit there and egg people on to tell you these things and to give you an honest opinion of what they think of you right now. And you went out on a show and completely crap on your audience. Do you really know what your audience is? Are you playing the role of Anita Sarkeesian here? Because you go then into the whole alt-right and Gamergate in this situation, and Gamergate, even if you go through the FBI, they resolved all forms of harassment and said there was none. Gamergate became a movement of gamers versus journalistic standards, where journals were being paid to review games and prop them up on a pedestal. There was the whole Zoe Quinn, Anita Sarkeesian situation, where Zoe Quinn played the victim, much like you're doing right now, Froskurinn, in the sense that she was getting all this harassment and hate. And I believe the person that she was went up against has actually offed themselves at this point. I believe the person that where Zoe Quinn was having the argument with the other person actually decided to delete themselves. Right? You want to talk about harassment and hate and then turn around and have people go out there, have all of this stuff that got completely abolished. The FBI said none of that actually happened, and yet the narrative continues to this day. If you want to talk about things that happen in the gaming sphere, and you want to bring it all the way back to 2016 with the whole Gamergate thing, go back to 2016, maybe when you started your career as a sportscaster in the League, League Champions thing or whatever back in China. Yeah, that's right. I went through everything. I've gone down the rabbit hole, and everything I've seen is a pattern that completely repeats itself time and time and time again, where people sit there and tell you again and again what you're doing is just going to bring and breed hate. Our experiences for these instances are leftover from their efforts. Edit, and here they come, proving my point. Thank for the example, guys. Well, first off, you're sitting there telling people off. You're telling them completely off. You go into one of your many Reddit accounts, apparently, and you tell everyone in here that Gamergate is causing harassment, or, maybe it's the crap views. Maybe G4TV losing 5,000, 6,000 subs on the continuation basis that things are just not right in gaming. G4TV used to stand for actually doing stuff, actually showing things that gamers wanted to do. They actually used to do good reviews. They used to do things. Now, from everything I've seen, they're doing reviews on games that are 5, 6, 7 years old. Nothing really that new coming out of it. Hey, if you want to see something new, I've even done a full playthrough of FNAF Security Breach, which I think is an amazing game, even though there is lots of bugs and lots of problems in the game, and I've done review on that in itself.
What happens if you get the same criticism over and over again? Are you, do you field it still, or, how do you deal with the repetitive feedback?
It really depends. I mean, sometimes it honestly just is true.
That's a clip actually taken from the Blitz Esports League of Legends page. And honestly, that's what's going on here. It's Froskurinn is talking about how her voice resonates in with casting and stuff like that. But the criticisms here have a lot of truth behind them. They're criticizing you, Frost, mainly because you're trying to crap on majority of your audience. Majority of your audience don't believe the things you're saying, so why are they not going to tell you the way things are? All of that aside, I could go on and make this like a 20, 30, 40-minute video, but we're not going to go down that route. I'm going to just do a quick summary of what I know of what's going on here. Froskurinn used to be a League of Legends player. She started out very early, I believe it was in 2014. Okay, yeah, 2014. I've got a full thing on here. They go by the name Indiana Black, which I believe is a new name. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go all into it. This is why I'm not bringing up a lot of the posts that I'm finding, is just because they're under other names and under other accounts, and I don't want to send anyone there. There's no point in sending anyone there, because then you just sit there, Frost, and you're going to sit there and say these things are evil and people are evil and men are evil, and I've already read that too. They've been doing color commentation. They did it from, it looks like 2015 to 2017 or 2019. There was some in 2021, but then they left it for League of Legends. They left it, and it looks like that's when they turned around and was able to get with G4TV. But it didn't come with some controversy behind it. It looks like there was a situation here where NEOM is a name of a city, Nome, in Saudi Arabia, where they're this big overlaying city where they're supposed to be doing this futuristic city. It looks kind of interesting, but because of the challenges there is in a diplomatic sense for Sharia law and all these other things that are just plain out wrong in the world today, a lot of the commentary community that was around with League of Legends said, no, we're not going to continue talking for you guys unless you leave this partnership. And hours after that, the pressure on Riot, they said, no, we're no longer partnering with you guys. They were supposed to be a new partner, and the whole community stood up and said no, just because of the Sharia law that this nation follows. Now, personally, I think that maybe they could have actually tried and worked out something diplomatically, but I think that is an ongoing thing that is beyond the color community, or color commentary for League of Legends, for these games, for like Arena. I think these things are, we've still got to try and work with other governments, and that is beyond our little spot on the internet. It's not going to do very much. That's where the officials should be talking with each other, and that's for the governments to figure out, not for the rest of us to sit there and try and talk on and decipher. And if really that is the case, then why did I read, Froskurinn, you're sitting there doing stuff in China when we have the Uyghurs actually being put in internment camps and things like that? Why we're seeing national things that come out and just outright human beings being taken muchly advantage of. It's not a topic I like to discuss because it's disgusting. It's not things that I like. When I see things like this, the atrocities on human beings, it's absolutely ridiculous. But so this is one thing to another. Really, is this where we're at? I don't think so. But you're trying to then crap on your fellow gamers in and around G4TV, and G4TV is hemorrhaging subs, hemorrhaging viewership. They're not getting what they used to be, and I think that is the bigger part of this whole thing, is you're trying to crap on everyone in the Western nations, and then what we're seeing in the Eastern nations, we're seeing some very vile things. But no, what's happening here at home in North America is the worst thing possible. And we got to bring in Gamergate, and we got to bring in this, and we got to bring in that. Like, it just doesn't add up. Things don't add up here for Froskurinn. And I think you need to sit there and take a step back and pull in the reins and stop commenting on everyone's posts. I'm seeing you go through Reddit and you are crapping on people left, right, and center. I see you on Twitter crapping on people left, right, and center. And then you're calling for people to continue the harassment or whatever you want. So at this point, I think you need to step back and say, listen, I've had enough. I'm going to take a few days off. Let this cool down. Shut off your social media. Just put your phone down like you know how to do.
I got about 50 different emails of like people going through like my work email, just calling me like the most awful shit. And like that's completely aside from like all the shit that I got blown up on Twitter and Reddit and Instagram. Like Dracos and I couldn't even open our phones. We're like, well, I guess that's the end of the year for us.
That's another clip from a podcast, Beeves with the Boys, episode 7 with Froskurinn and Ender from the Munchables. They've got about 3,000 subscribers, so go take a look at them. I'm guessing they talk about actual things that will matter and not so much what's going on with Froskurinn. But once again, this is back in 2020. We're in 2022. This is 2 years later, and it seems that Froskurinn continues this history of repeating itself with these topics. Frost, turn off the internet. If you're going to continue to push these agendas and push these narratives and push these topics, and then you're going to say things like you need to be in the right mindset to take these things on. You need to then turn and drop your phone because it's done for the rest of the year. You know, these types of things are what continues to push forward, and I don't see this as a win. I see this as being a bad person. You're being bringing up all these things of the past, like Gamergate and stuff like that. Is it really worthwhile? Is that really what you want your name to be associated with at this point, is Gamergate? Like, come on. The stuff is so dead with that. It's been dead for years. People have moved on and things have changed. We've seen a lot more people move forward with these games and have more equality in them. So wasn't that the whole purpose of these things? You know, I get stuff in the past that you went through with your color commentary, trying to be able to move forward and try to be that resounding voice. You've done all of that, but now you have to sit there and say what's going on, saying sexism is rampant in gaming. Still, people don't care about sexism in gaming. They care about the games they get to play. They want a true and honest opinion of the games they get to play. They want accessibility options where people that are mostly blind can play these games. They want things that are true to themselves. They want new content in games. And to sit there and completely crap on your audience time and time and time again is not going to get you anywhere. Thanks for watching. This is Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off. I hope you guys like this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you all next time, and I hope Froskurinn, you just settle down a little bit and actually let things blow over and then move beyond all this stuff. I'm sure people will come crawling right back to you.